My channel. This is just a quick live read for Taurus. Just to look at some of the cards here, it does look like there's going to be a bit of a challenge here for the month of March 2023. If you're not already going through this, then certainly the energy is going to be different for all of you. It's a different timeline. It is just a general read. Sorry. So what I see here is it looks like there's a period of stagnation. So for this month, it looks like you're going through something for sure. On the upside, further out, you do have some, openings up here in terms of your finances, wish fulfillment, a lot more intuitive connection. But right now, I feel like you are just seeing a lot of lack, a lot of defensiveness. There's certainly a period of anxiety and not really quite sure where to go at this point. It almost feels like there's a level of confusion for you, and certainly does have some element of being. Uh, Almost escapism is sort of the energy that I would say is kind of coming into play here. Like I said, the Nine of Swords is for sure an energy of being, maybe you're not sleeping well, but certainly it can also speak to conclusive energy. You're almost at a last stage of something here with Nine of Wands as well as Nine of Swords. You're really up in your head. You're also taking a very defensive position. You're still on the upper end of things, however, whatever that is for you, but it just feels as though you're in a position here, we're in a period. Again, they're all minor arcana, so it's not anything I would say that is going to have any long-term, residual effect. It just feels like it's energy that has you in a little bit of a low ebb. So again, when I see two nines here, it does look as though there's going to be something that's it's a really significant period of change that you're going through. I would say that. And it certainly is going to cause you or call for you to be flexible and, allow something to integrate into your life and able for you to resolve whatever this is that you're going through. So again, all of you are on different timelines. So if it speaks to you and resonates for you, take the message. If not, just try back in future reads. But right now, what I'm going to say is there's a lot of worry and anxiety going on here. So this may have started out at the beginning of the month, or it may still be carrying on. Because it's such a heavy, well, not heavy cards so much as it is just a number of cards that seem to all speak to the same kind of message. I would say that this might even go further out into April. But when I see the Nine of Swords here, like I said, it just really feels like there's a lot of stress that you're dealing with at this time. You're just allowing your mind to kind of run rampant. It's almost a little period of depression here as well because you're just wanting to escape from things. There may be a lot of problems here that you're facing. There's almost a level of uncertainty that is causing you to sort of suffer with anxiety. That seems to be whatever the current energy is. So, however, this speaks to you, it's emotionally somehow draining you. I feel like you are in a position of feeling stuck with the hanged man here. And it definitely feels like you're wanting to retreat, find a solution, of course. But at this point, it just feels like you're really burdened with whatever is going on here. So, it's just serious pressure is, kind of what I would say there. Serious emotional pressure that you yourself are enduring, and again, there's two nines here. So, I mean, you're almost in a conclusive kind of space, but you're just not quite there yet. The Nine of Wands, like I said, is also in around that same area. You're almost finishing up with a cycle, and it definitely speaks to you putting out a lot of energy, taking a stand, feeling a lot more resistant. You persevere very quite a bit through this situation. And again, with the Nine of Wands, I mean, there's still a lot of uncertainties I feel around you at this time. But again, I still see two nines here. So this is, some kind of a test that's almost completed here. So again, by probably either next month or the one following, depending on how quickly you heal and you can sort of let go of some of the burdens here, will be, to your advantage, because then that way you can actually have some kind of rapid recovery emotionally as well as physically. And again, it just feels like you're being kind of feeling very alone at this time. I just feel like, for whoever this resonates for, again, there's some kind of a shift that needs to happen here, mentally as well as physically. And, even in terms of finances, it feels like that may be where there's some of the guardedness, not really sure about what the future holds here. I mean, certainly willing to do the work, and you're, preparing yourself for that, I feel as well. But again, it just feels like there is, there will be progress up ahead here. You're just not in that energy, right? That energy field just yet. Again, this is not predictions, it's energy that you're dealing with. So energy is something that's, mutable. It's something that you can always, just work it to your advantage. If you know that you're encountering something that's a little heavier energy in the following months, I mean, that gives you some time to sort of prepare, try to do something that's more positive, take more walks or whatever, do something that's going to be more engaging for yourself so that you actually have, you have a little bit more prep to aid in your recovery. But again, still at this point, I would just say that you are looking for something to kind of take you out of your own skin. As I said, I feel like there's some setbacks here, especially with the Five of Cups. And again, I feel like there's a certain level of anxiety over possible choices or something that might be coming up here. You don't really know which direction to move in. And that's why I say, I mean, I feel like you're stuck. You need to shift your perspective. All of that goes with the Hanged Man. But overall, like I said, further out, there is going to be a lot more movement, a lot more happiness. There's going to be a lot more activity. But right now, you just have to work through whatever this is. Persevere. You've got a couple of challenges here yet to go through. You are trying to turn your back on some of the things that you can't control at this time. And again, it's just still feels like there is going to be a win further out. But right now, you're in the energy of, how do I change all of this, that I'm feeling inside, this level of, I'm determined and I'm fairly resilient, but I'm also feeling a lot of fear going forward. I'm not really sure what the, just be patient is basically what the cards say, because there is going to be, a couple of obstacles here yet to overcome with, with both the Nine of Wands and the Nine of Swords here. And again, you will have to take some kind of an action to kind of get yourself out of this space, obviously, with that Nine of Swords, um, because it's feeling like you're sort of trapped in the mind, but it's also feeling restricted in your environment in some way. And I also feel like your emotions seem to be, in a place of void, or at least feeling a little bit, like I said, emptiness here. Like you're just, you're moving out of this phase, but again, it feels like you're just not sure, how things kind of came about maybe here as well. When we get to the Seven of Cups, like I said, I mean, the cups are all about your emotional stages here as well. Sevens certainly do speak to spiritual wisdom and insight coming through, and it does bode well. It's still a triumph over problems kind of energy. But like I said, I feel like up ahead here, you're still kind of battling with what it is you're supposed to be looking at here. What payoff was supposed to happen maybe didn't come through here, and I feel like you're just trying to sort of escape what you're doing in the moment here, which is thinking critically, and very indecisive, and a lot of confusion is what it seems to be the main energy. And maybe this is you feeling like you lack some kind of purpose as well. But I feel like there's a sense of letdown emotionally, so maybe even in in a relationship of some sort here as well, that there could be something that is disappointed you here in terms of a connection of some sort here. Like I said, there seems to be a lot of stress in around the home front here, or in around your emotional areas here. So again, we've got the Five of Cups, the Seven of Cups, the Eight of Cups. I mean, this is progressive energy, but further down, be aware we've got the Nine of Cups. So that is going to move in your favor here. And then we've got the Queen of Cups as a clarifier to all the confusion. So I feel like you will get some grounding further out. I don't feel it's going to be in this month in particular, but for sure, the fact is there's sort of a progression of this deepening sorrow of some sort here, because certainly with the Five of Cups, that is a card of disappointment, being a little absorbed in that empty space right now. And you're concentrating on all the wrong things. You're concentrating on the things that have disappointed you, or the things where you, had some unhappy memories. You're clinging to something here that's giving you more distress than, helping to really resolve a situation. But I feel like you still have some momentum to make that happen. But right now, I feel like it's an escape, sort of escapism kind of energy, and you're feeling a little bit indifferent. Some of you might not be working at this time, and maybe that's why there is such a lack of sense of stability, and there's some confusion, because it does seem to be around a lot of purpose driven cards here. So anything that is around your happiness seems to be where you're finding lack. There's a level of, confusion around your emotional front, but also in terms of your finances. I feel like you're feeling very solitary and alone at this time, maybe not feeling as though you can really come out of this, but you will, of course, because these are all the cards that are following, that are further out. But your main energy, like I said, right now is you just, not really seeing, you're just seeing the downside to everything versus any kind of positive outcome. So, in terms of a relationship, again, I feel like you're just being a little overly consumed by a loss here at this time. And again, it's everything is salvageable, really, from the cards that I see here. It's just you're allowing yourself to kind of dwell on these disappointments or grievances or whatever. This is emotional sorrow. So, again, there's a lot of psychological things here for you that are leaving you feeling empty. And I just feel it's cycling around and around. And, maybe you feel like you've missed an opportunity in life in some way, but there will be future rewards that are coming in here soon. It's just you're not quite in that space yet. So, again, just know that these are progressive energies, because the eight is still a card about moving forward as well, even though it's kind of a broken down sort of energy. But you're leaving that situation behind, or at least the discontent that was associated with it. So that may be your present situation, but again, you're finding some way of dealing with a natural conclusion or accepting the situation so that you can go forward. But it's still a feeling of being, empty or abandoned in some way. There's also the sense that you are kind of voluntarily pulling back or withdrawing emotionally, like I said, because maybe something was unfulfilling in a career front here as well. But I feel like overall it's something that was connected to your, a wish or a dream that you had hoped was going to move ahead, but it's kind of let you down in some way. I don't see any completed conclusion cards like tens yet, but it's coming probably, like I say, a little further out, not necessarily next month, but maybe the month after. I don't feel like with this kind of heavy energy that it resolves in a couple of weeks. Um, Kind of go back and forth cycling through things, as we're getting through it. So I mean, there may be some push pull, further out in the month as well, but I feel like you're eager to move on here. Like I said, I mean, there is a sense of you still being in control, or ready to go here in a situation. But you also have a degree of insecurity that kind of goes alongside those cards. And of course, the Nine of Pentacles, even though it is a level of feeling, guarded about how what the finances will look like, there's still motions forward. So it's even almost like a halfway point. So it's almost like you're halfway through, not even just from the Two of Wands, but also from the two nines here. It's like you're halfway through a scenario here that's going to allow you to find some link to whatever it is that's going to push this forward. Because, like I said, further out, there is a lot of hard work, and there's definitely, some wish fulfillment that is going to come in, that is going to give you a sense of being back in control of things here. But for the moment, as I said, um, it just feels like you're still kind of feeling abandoned, and you're not really sure what the next direction is yet. Like I said, I feel like something will present itself as well, but emotionally you're just not fully satisfied, so you're not really open to anything, and you may be missing synchronicities or missing some of the messages that Spirit is trying to bring through for you, because this is where opportunities kind of manifest, is usually with the Magician or the Seven of Cups and that Queen of Cups. There's going to be something toward the end of the month here where you start to feel a little bit more secure about, emotionally feeling a lot more content in some way. So maybe there is a sense of you getting a little bit more emotional fulfillment, which will allow you to kind of reconnect in some way. Like I said, the Nine of Cups is still here, but right now you've been disappointed in, what you were hoping for to give you pleasure or to give you a sense of, you know, having a good time. Something along that line is it's not here. This is something that has been a bit of a letdown here. Something didn't turn out the way you expected. And again, even on emotional front as far as relationships go or a long-term, connection or somebody that's quite significant to you, it still feels like this is an area where you're just not, something didn't fit the personal vision here, right? Something isn't going through as in a really loving way, or you're not getting the love that you wanted. The pleasure in something is missing here. So with the Eight of Cups and also the Eight of Pentacles, I feel like, again, this is still energy that is moving forward. That there's two eights here, so this is really, opportunity for something to, take off. But you just have to kind of, like I say, wait it out. This month for March is going to be a little bit more of a trying month, but just be resilient. Like I said, I mean, you've got the Nine of Wands here. Just play it out. Everything will turn around here in time. Due course, as they say, because the Eight of Pentacles is definitely somebody who is putting one foot in front of the other, really putting in the work. So I don't feel like you're afraid to do the work. I just feel like emotionally you have to kind of release yourself from this tide, energy, so that you can actually get back to some degree of focus and, you know, build up your skill set and all of that. But right now, it's like you're taking a bit of a break from all of that. I do feel like you have some skills for sure, because I mean, these are all cards of success, like Two of Wands with the Nine of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles, as well as the Nine of Cups, and even the Queen of Cups. This is really secure energy. So you may not be feeling the level of security in this month, but you are coming from a pretty strong foundation. So because of that, I would say your level of um, responsibility is likely to increase over the next short while, because there is going to be some level of commitment on your behalf that is going to have to, have you rise to the challenge, so to speak, with that Nine of Wands. Again, there's still a sense of self-worth and confidence being, kind of challenged this month. But again, just pay attention to some of the things that that you do have working for you in this month. So again, even though you're feeling really resistant and disconnected, I still feel like you have a vision here with the Two of Wands, and I still feel like you have a willingness to do the work. I feel like you've got an artisan sort of talent here. You have the ability to master things, and certainly you have the ability. You've already tapped into a way of, bringing out your own uh, happiness in some activity. So I feel like even though you're not feeling it right now, I do feel that you are going to have that ability, come up here very shortly. So it's not an unfamiliar area. I feel like these are activities that you've already done before. Again, you've got already got some kind of foundation that's pretty secure here. You just have to kind of open up to it, respond to it again. Because again, I just feel like whatever the talents are that you do have here, and whatever this path of mastery that you're trying to build, it just feels like whatever effort you did put out was a bit of a letdown. So that shouldn't stop you, because as they say, fail fast, right? If you fail fast, then you tweak, 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 and then eventually everything falls into, a level of expertise that you have learned simply because you actually didn't mind taking a risk for a journey that you felt was worthwhile. Um, I don't think that, yeah, even though as I say, I feel like there's some confusion and real emptiness and letdown. And maybe there's a lot of anxiety and worry about things. I don't know that I feel that you are seeing yourself. You might see yourself as a bit of a victim, in one aspect, but I don't feel like you don't believe you have the talent. I think that you can be quite independent and self-reliant here. You just have to kind of again, mostly this is you getting out of your head and sort of unlocking the confusion that I see here with the Seven of Cups, because you do actually have a lot of options available to you. Because that Seven of Cups is a card of, there's a lot more to come. You just have to be, aware of what's in your space. If you're not looking for it, you won't find it. I remember some kind of, I sat through something with, I think it was Harv Eker actually, and they made a comment in he wrote The Millionaire Mind, and it was a room full of people, thousands of people, and he had everybody say, look for red, look for red, look for red, and then of course everybody looked for red, and then look for brown. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, but you're too busy looking for red because you were too focused on the red, and so therefore when the color brown comes up, it's not something that you've noticed in the entirety of the room because you were too focused on the red. So that's just kind of a whatever. I'm not great with the examples, but that's what I got. Okay, so again, even going back to that Seven of Cups energy, like I said, the payoff wasn't what you expected here, but it's still a card of letting you know there's some kind of big decision that is coming in here, but probably toward the end of the month. Some of you it might be a little further out into April, but it is still you trying to choose between numerous choices here, right? You've got indecision here that's kind of building up here with that hanged man energy. There's, a sense that you need to make some kind of a decision. You're feeling a little gridlocked. You just have to pick one of the alternatives. Doesn't matter if it's the right one or the wrong one. It just has to be the one that you feel you can put your most effort behind and really believe in. So long as it's something that, is in line with your values and your belief systems, you will have more activity or more action behind it than you would if it were something that you're resisting. But overall, it's making a decision. Could be confusion in a love situation, could be confusion in a work situation. But either way, it's still kind of, there's a level of escapism that I feel that you're dealing with this month. So, again, there's also the sense that you have to kind of manifest your dreams here by also creating more of a specific, what's the word I'm looking for? In other words, being specific, specificity, there we go. Being more specific on the goal that you're trying to manifest. So maybe you're a little bit all over the map here, and not really sure what it is that you're trying to do here with the Eight of Cups. There's still that energy of, could be even leaving the past behind or a person behind. But like I said, it's some kind of natural conclusion that you have to let go of the dream or let go of the idea that you had in your head that things had to be a certain way, because this is you devoting yourself to more enlightenment or more wisdom, or, something where you're going to have uh, a lot more transition behind. Like there's going to be some kind of life phase that you are phasing out in lieu of another phase in your life. So it might be that you were more focused on the material aspects of things, and it's almost like you're making a choice now to move into a place of more satisfaction. In some level of your life, you're wanting to go for something that is going to give you more personal satisfaction versus the comforts of, financial uh, wealth. I'm not saying you don't want stability, but it certainly does speak to, wanting something that is going to be more enduring for sure, but it's a new path of some sort that you're trying to open up to. And like I said, this could be a new financial path here as well, because I do see a lot of hard work that's going in, but it's not a brand new path because there is something that your talent is related here to. But the Two of Wands is going to be an action that you will be taking here it's a decision card up ahead. And of course, that'll be after the indecision card of the Hanged Man. But you are going to be able to make some kind of a decision here very soon. You just have to, like I said, give yourself the opportunity to figure out what it is that you're emotionally connected to here, because as I said, that hangman energy means you're feeling stuck and you're in a waiting game. So it's kind of a pause, spiritually, as well as it could be representing Pisces energy here as well, but it's a transition. Something's in suspension and there's a level of frustration here for sure. And again, confused about some new direction that you're headed in or someone else is headed in that's relevant to you as well. But either way, I feel like you're just hanging on to something that you you need to release. And it certainly does, again, as I said, speak to some pain or some setbacks here. But you have to be more willing to release some of the rigid ideas and the fixed concepts about how something should look or how something should be. And I feel like you're independently having to go forward in a particular area, but I don't feel that's the case. I don't see any specific help coming in just at this point. And maybe it's because the shift has to happen within you first before something will open up. But I feel like with the Two of Wands, that is going to be something that, where the grass is always greener energy, but it's also an indication that there is going to be something that will come through and success is sort of imminent here with that. It's also, I mean, as I say, I mentioned, even though I don't directly see another, I mean, I do see the Queen of Cups here. So again, could be water sign that's prevalent, but I do see with the Two of Wands that this is kind of a working partnership that usually it represents for me, as well as, Lover's card, Two of Cups, anything like that. But it just feels like I feel like you will have some assistance going forward, but things have yet to unfold. You're not really in that place yet, but there is kind of a cooperative energy toward making something happen. But I feel it's an independent journey more so for you emotionally that you want to connect with. It's less about the creature comfort, so to speak, and more about finding some kind of personal satisfaction. You are concerned about mastering something. I mean, I feel like you will be, trying to improve your finances for sure. And then again, sort of that waiting sort of period here. But I think something disappointed you in terms of, what success looks like for you. You weren't able to achieve it in the way that you expected to achieve it in your head. But like I said, I mean, overall, these cards are looking pretty good. I mean, there is success coming in at some point. It's just not in that energy yet. So you do have Nine of Swords, got to work through all this defensive energy and all of this anxiety first. But I feel like you're wrapping things up here with that Eight of Cups energy to be able to. And once you get to the Seven of Cups, you're really looking at your choices, but you got to release something here first, and then you'll be able to make the choice and then unlock yourself here with that hanged man energy. Because like I said, the hangman is really where the whole of the month is you have to transition out of this phase first. You have to really try to look at try to look at the things, like I said, that what really is satisfying to you, again, is really where I feel you're at. I don't think that you're really focused as much as you are focused on money and stability and independence. I think that what is about to come in here for you in the preceding months is going to be more about how do I find real satisfaction in my life? How do I find, the right romance or the right, emotional connection or the right business opportunity that I actually feel like I'm contributing and a valued member, something that really gives me a sense of purpose or a sense of, I don't even know if it's so much purpose as it is a sense of, I want experiences that just keep me more satisfied because I haven't felt satisfied possibly for a little while. Again, all of you, that'll speak a little differently to you, but I just feel like with that hangman, you're just going to have to, wait this out. Just relax. It's kind of a transitional phase that you're going through here. Try to keep it positive, sort of surrender to the process here is all that comes through with that. Don't have to be your own enemy, and you don't have to, you know, win. You just have to choose, is really what's happening here. So, whatever the current situation is for you, again, I think you just need to have a new lease on life and just kind of look behind the mask here and take a look at the things that, fall in line with your values. It's not, like I said, I don't feel like you're really in a position of wanting to. You have to change whatever you thought success in a certain situation was going to be and able to unlock here, to get out of this current situation. But I do feel like you are going to be taking that next step here with the Nine of Wands. Like there's something that you're considering here in the beginning of the month, and by the end of the month I feel like that's, and again, some of you it might be a little further out, but by the end of the month I feel like you're really going to be making the decision, because right now I just feel like you're sort of tied into um having to protect things right now. It feels like you are trying to be strong in the face of, the things that you're dealing with. That's kind of the energy I see there. Okay, so that's what I see for the month of March 2023. I'll do some further readings out here for you, Taurus. But overall, like I said, I mean, you end up further out in the month, not in March, but I feel probably in April, with that Queen of Cups energy, you're really going to be moving into some solid energy, because the queen is more about, for me, I find she's building up her resources. She is, solid. She is somebody who is calm, cool, collected. She's a warm, maternal kind of energy, and I feel like that loving energy is going to be coming through for you pretty soon. Again, I see a lot of water energy in this read for sure, but I definitely feel like you will have, kind of speaks to a mature woman here as well. For some of you, that might be relevant, but again, I just feel a lot of energy here is an emotional healing. Most of it is emotional healing. And of course, with that comes, the connection to spirit and more insights that are coming down as downloads. Feel like you're still in a little bit of fantasy land here this month, and I just feel like you're ignoring some of the real world, just to allow some healing in your life. But definitely mother maternal energy coming through here, and a lot of reflection. As well. So that's what I have for you. Keep moving forward. Never give up, because you have great energy coming in further out. Again, with the Two of Wands, Nine of Pentacles, real sense of independence, mastery, and wish fulfillment is on its way, even though it's not there yet. But you will be finding something that's going to satisfy you further out. Just toe the line and you will get there.